Welcome to the third part of our global competency class. Through the last session, you must have mastered the basic concept of the UN's future competency and its content. In this session, you will learn about the most important qualities and attributes of an international organization staff and how to develop them. There is a wealth of learning materials at the end of the course, so don't miss them if you are interested. In the last session, we mentioned the UN Future Competency Model, so let's review it together. The competency model consists of 3 dimensions: core values, core competencies, and management competencies, which include 3, 8, and 6 secondary indicators respectively, and 100 more detailed indicators to systematically describe and measure the behavior standards of each value and competency. Next, let's go through the specific requirements of the United Nations for its staff. As mentioned in the previous lesson, the third part of management skills is out of our scope of study, considering your current situation. If you are interested, you can download the attachment in the link attached to the video to learn more. What do you think of when I mention integrity? The competency of integrity is a core value for the United Nations. It is an ability to work honestly, openly, impartially, and in accordance with the value of the United Nations. It is critical for all staff members. Have a good command of it means proactively seeks to understand the values of the organization, monitor personal behavior to ensure that it supports them, explicitly acts without thoughts of personal gain, and stand strong when political influence is applied. This means that as an employee of an international organization, you cannot judge a move from the point of view of whether or not you have gained a benefit, and that as an employee of an international organization, you must abandon national biases when carrying out your activities. Ensures all actions and decisions are taken in the organization's best interest, checking any potentially controversial issues with more senior managers. You need to maintain a high level of political sensitivity and keep your nerves taut about things that harm the interest of international organizations. Identifies and acts to address any behavior in self or others which is unethical or lacking in integrity, and positively promotes the importance of integrity whenever possible. How can we exercise this ability in our daily lives? To obtain an opinion of oneself from others. Seek feedback from your friends or teachers regarding their perceptions of your honesty, ethics, and integrity in relation to your professional ethics or codes of conduct. It is important that you try to address any issues of concern as developing one's own sense of morality. If someone provides you with confidential or sensitive information, or you regularly work in an environment in which there is confidential or sensitive information readily accessible, make sure that you treat it as such. Think about how you have felt when someone else has broken your trust in the past by passing on information or looking at personal paperwork, and use this as a motivator for keeping competencies in the future. Third, assess your time management skills and make timely adjustment to address problems. Failing to meet deadlines can often be seen by other people as unreliability and can contribute to a lack of trust. For that reason, it is important that you evaluate your time management skills and address any development needs in this area. For example, if you are invited to attend a meeting, endeavor to be 5 minutes early and well prepared as a sign of respect, trustworthiness, and reliability. Now let's look at the second competency, professionalism. Many people think that competency of professionalism means excellent professional knowledge. Of course, professionalism is undoubtedly a key part of a job application in international organizations, which do not restrict the profession of their staff, but do look at different professions. However, This is not what is meant by competency of professionalism in the UN Future Competency Model. In this context, competency of professionalism refers to the professionalism required to be a staff member of an international organization. It is an ability to work a calm, competent, and committed manner is critical for all staff members. Specifically, it can be defined as the following parts. Always honors any commitment made, meeting all deadlines and exceeding all expectations. Take personal pride in all work delivered, seeking to raise the quality standard as far as is practically possible. Remains calm and confident in difficult situations, projecting an air of professional competence. Seeks to raise professional standards in himself and others through daily work and activities. How to exercise this ability in our daily lives? First, look at the problem from a different perspective. Try to view challenges and setbacks from a problem-solving perspective. That is, look for solutions rather than focusing on the problems and why things cannot be done. Second, set yourself goals and take the time to evaluate them. Consider setting yourself a target to achieve every month. You should keep a record on the difficulties that you encounter on a day-to-day basis and how you aim to or deal with them. Then review your progress at the end of each month. Third, examine the time management you have done before. Take some time to examine your time management carefully. It is possible that you might be spending time on routine, repeated tasks that distract you from your main object. If so, look to delegate some aspects of your non-essential work. You might think of ways in which you create an extra half an hour of day for yourself. Try to plan ahead to reduce the likelihood of stress building by setting practical deadlines, learning to delegate, and getting projects adequately resourced. Good time management is essential to stress management. Besides, make a realistic assessment of your own abilities. Take the time to examine your confidence level on each aspect of your job and compare this with recent appraisal ratings. Stress can sometimes be related to a lack of competence with respect to job-relevant skills, which subsequently result in anxiety. Try to determine if there are any areas where lack of skill or knowledge is contributing to concern or negative feelings. If there are, it is important that you try to address this. What's more, refer to the opinions of others about your handling of stress. You could ask your colleagues or friends how they perceive your ability to handle pressure. Ask them to tell you in what ways do you respond well and in what ways do you respond less well. When under stress in the future, try to respond with more of the positive behaviors. The final keyword is respect for diversity. Diversity is one of the most central characteristics of international organizations. It is because international organizations embrace a variety of different groups that they can become international. And it is because the staff of international organizations are respectful and inclusive of each other that they have the possibility to play a significant role in the world. To be more precise, respect for diversity is an ability to work effectively, respectfully, and inclusively with people from different backgrounds and with different perspectives. It's critical for all staff members. All staff members are required to demonstrate this value, irrespective of the nature of their role. Respecting each other can be difficult for people from different regions with different religions and cultures, but learning how to respect the differences in the world is the first priority if you want to be part of and play a role in an international organization. You can improve your understanding and respect for diversity by the following instances. First, continue your interest in other cultures and their values through books, magazines, films, and television documentaries. What more, you could make an effort to attend film festivals or events hosted by other cultures to commemorate holidays and events. Second, Make an effort to find out about cultural differences in social and business norms when dealing with colleagues to help you to learn how to modify your behavior when this is appropriate. This can be done in a variety of ways. For example, hanging with foreign friends or classmates out for a coffee and discussing differences with them, reading books, searching the internet for appropriate websites, or contacting relevant cultural society. Third, questions on behavior to ensure it is free from bias and discrimination. If a conflict arises, try to see the issues from the other person's perspective before defending your own position. Make sure that you look at the conflict as a conflict of ideas or approaches rather than of people, and make every effort to remain neutral. Fourth, challenges and address bias when it is encountered, positively encouraging others to show respect for diversity. Pay particular attention to explaining things as simply as possible and avoid using jargon and complex words when talking. Regularly check that people have understood what you have been saying. Fifth, always think differently and try to consider other people's perspectives when encountering intercultural communication problems. Consider getting feedback from people from other cultures about how they see you and your culture. Try to put yourself in their shoes. Then talk through issues about how you see their culture. That's all for this lesson. We will focus on the competency section in the next lessons and provide recommendations for the process of applying for UN volunteers at the end. So please continue with the next lessons.